Hello, it's Bailey, and this month I'm reading some of my friends' favorite books. If you haven't seen the first part, I will link it here and you should go and watch that. You don't have to watch it first, it doesn't conflict with this one, but you should definitely watch both. And in that video I read one of Ashley from Of Fiction and Fantasy's favorite books, as well as Martine from Just Martine. I am sitting and wearing and looking exactly the same as the end of that video because I was planning on filming another vlog in between these, and then I just realized that a book I thought was available to me isn't yet. So I'm just gonna jump right into the next part of this, and the first book I'm gonna be reading in this round is my friend Stasia from Reader C here on YouTube. I will link her channel down below. One of her favorite books, and her pick was With the Fire on High by Elizabeth Acevedo. And I'm really excited for this one. And Under the Dust Jacket, this book is still like so cute. But I'm in the mood for a contemporary. The last two books I read were both YA mysteries, and so this will be a nice change of pace. And yeah, I'm excited to get into this one. And I think this is going to be a fairly fast read. Like, the words on each page are not very many, and it is about like just over 400 pages long. So that's what I'm jumping into next. I need to update because this is flying by and it's amazing so far. I'm like 100 pages in. I'm on page 99 and it only took me like an hour to read that much, which is way faster than my normal reading speed. But I'm loving the voice in this and just how this is written. Our main character is just starting her senior year of high school, but she got pregnant when she was a freshman with a boy who was never really her boyfriend. So the dad is like in the picture, but they were never together. They aren't together now. And she is like has a passion for cooking, which has been really fun. And I will say an interesting thing, like Chris and I in 2020 like made it a priority to both learn to cook better because neither of us ever really knew what we were doing. So, and we did that in 2020, and so the cooking parts have been interesting to me. But it also is a commentary on, she is half black and half Puerto Rican. It's been discussed already, like on page. Someone has asked her like, where are you from? What are you? And it's an interesting commentary. But like I said, I love how this is written, and she is like, there's points where she's trying not to swear because she has a kid, so she'll like start to say a sentence that would have a swear word and then like change it to like shoot, or like just change the word, and that's on page, and it's been funny. And I think that's like a realistic thing of people who are parents like trying to cut that out. And we are building towards like she's gonna have an opportunity to go on a school trip that she's not sure as of now if she's going to be able to. So I think it is gonna lean on some topics of like opportunity. But yeah, I am getting ready to get in the bath. It's my favorite thing to do before bed is take a warm bath. But I was thinking I'm probably gonna get pretty far in this book in that time. So that's my first update for now. This is definitely, out of everyone's books I've read so far, my favorite. And this is like leaning towards being a very highly rated book from me. You haven't seen me in over a day. I skipped a day yesterday. I wasn't feeling well, so I literally just went to bed after work. But I only have like an hour left of With the Fire on High, but I just wanted to talk a little bit more about what this is about. And I think this is a book very much so far about like opportunities, and our main character is definitely struggling with like her home life, balancing her home life and school. And like a big concept of this is one of the classes she's taking has an opportunity to take a trip over their spring break, and they're doing a lot of fundraising, but she's not sure if she's going to be able to afford to go, let alone like have someone to watch her daughter. And she's also like trying to decide whether she wants to go to college or if she probably needs to go like straight into a workforce and make money to help support her and she lives with her grandma and then her daughter. And I just think it's still like super good so far. And there is like a little romance in there, like her and this guy. There's a guy who's been really sweet to her so far. So yeah, I probably now will just update when I'm done. I did it, I finished, and I'm like on cloud 9 about this book. So I did end up giving With the Fire on High by Elizabeth Acevedo 5 stars. So shout out to Stasia, me and you, girl. You got me good here. But yeah, this stayed just as strong, like all the way to the end, and it really was just like a feel-good book for me. I think it's very comforting to enjoy like a YA contemporary, because that's what I was reading so much of when I got back into reading. I never really fell out of reading, but when I really started reading like I do now, and I thought it was something I would never fall out of, and I kind of have felt like I have in the past couple years especially. So to love one like I just love this is an amazing feeling. And yeah, I'm just like giddy. I'm really happy about this book. Also, because I organize my shelves by author last name, I love finishing something with like an A or B last name, because then my whole shelves like shift and it's just satisfying to me. It is a couple days later, but I'm finally reading my next pick for this vlog, and I'm going to be reading Nessa's pick. And so this is the first one that I chose a fantasy for. I haven't read much fantasy recently, and what I have read I've struggled to get into. I think just where I've been mentally, I haven't had the concentration to really sit and think about world building and something so focused like that you really have to pay attention to even understand what's going on. But I did start her recommendation, which was or is An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir, and I'm about 75 pages in right now, and I do think I'm enjoying it. The first like 40 to 50 pages I definitely was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to have the headspace for this right now, but just the last couple chapters I've gotten into are definitely grabbing my attention more, and I think I do understand what's going on. We are following one character who her whole family was basically just killed. I don't know why, like there was something going on, and now she is like on the run and looking for some like resistance group basically. And we're following another character who is in some kind of training camp and thinking about deserting basically, and that's basically all I know right now. And I'm hoping, and this is something I really think I would enjoy, that this is a story where the further the book goes along, like the closer these two characters are gonna come to like converging. But yeah, I do think I'm getting immersed into the fantasy world, even though I'm obviously not describing it to you very well. But hopefully by the end of the book I will be able to give some sort of concise synopsis. I'm in the same spot because my stuff is just like still here, but I've been enjoying just like opening my book mail in my vlogs because I've decided not to do hauls. So I got a package today, and I think this has 2 books in it, and I think these are both for book clubs this month. Yeah, it is what I thought it was going to be. So first I have The Wife Upstairs by Rachel Hawkins. I am going to be reading this for Gabby from Gabby Reads Book Club. I think it's called The Book Troop. And then I also got Night Song by Beverly Jenkins, which I'm reading this for, I believe, the Historical Hellions Book Club. So these are both book club picks. They're both fairly, like, things that I think are going to be fairly quick. So look forward to me reading these later this month. You can probably hear Huck's nails on the floor, and I'm also getting my, I call this my breakfast. I like bring a snack to work basically, and I'm bringing animal crackers today. But I never did update yesterday how I was actually feeling about An Ember in the Ashes. And that's because I'm finding that I am enjoying it more in larger chunks. So like reading it in an hour chunk rather than a 15-minute chunk, which I do a lot of the time read in 15-minute bursts. and I'm enjoying it. I think right now it's feeling like a 3-star read, and I think I'm feeling that way because we are just getting like two people's perspectives and their view on this whole fantasy world, and I feel like I don't understand the scope of the world right now. So I do think that this is a series that if I give this first book a 3-star, the following ones will get better and better as the world expands and you see more. It did kind of become like a competition in Elias's perspective, and then Leia has become basically like a spy. So yeah, I am fairly close to the end. I think I'm like 60% of the way through, so I'm hoping to finish it tonight and then start one more book tomorrow for this vlog and basically be done with this, because Nicoletta's book is actually going to be in my RibSat video, so that'll be all of my friends' books that I was planning on doing. And if you guys didn't know, most of these people are also reading some of my favorite books this month, so again, please go check them out as well. So I've actually got like 3 hours of reading done already tonight, and I finished An Ember in the Ashes, and I do just want to say I think like the third act, like the last third of this book, was the strongest part of the book. It definitely got better and better as the story went, so I'm very excited to continue with the sequels because I do think it is improving as it goes. I do still just want like a little bit more world building, and I want to get to know the characters better and how they're going to interact with each other going forward. And I did end up giving this 3 stars, but that's like a hopeful 3 stars because like I said, I'm gonna continue and I think it's gonna get better. So thank you for Nessa for recommending this to me. I did enjoy it even though I only gave it 3 stars. But next I'm gonna be reading Melody's pick from Strawberry Lemon. I picked a book from her that I've never actually heard of, but it's actually like a novella. I think it's only like 150 pages long, and it is To Be Taught If Fortunate by Becky Chambers. And I'm pretty sure this is a sci-fi story set in space, and I don't know much more than that. So, per usual, I will tell you what it's about once I start to learn what it is actually about. But yeah, I'm excited to read that as well, and then I will have read almost everyone's books. Air is doing a thing this morning. But time is also probably pretty confusing when I constantly just like wear the same 3 sweatshirts. But last night I did end up going to bed. I wasn't feeling well and I was like, do I take a Tylenol or just go to sleep? And I decided to just go to sleep. So I did set an alarm this morning for 6 a.m. So I've been up for a little while, and I am about halfway through To Be Taught If Fortunate by Becky Chambers, and I'm really liking the writing style. But I would just like to say that I purposely picked things for this challenge of reading my friends' favorites that were like outside my comfort zone. We all listed like multiple options for each other to read, and I didn't pick necessarily the ones that I thought were the most up my alley. And so this one, being a science fiction, is definitely not like in my comfort zone, and it is very sci-fi heavy. It is about like a space mission, and these astronauts are sent into space, and it takes like 14 years for any communication to get to them and then from them back to Earth. So if they sent something today, we wouldn't know until 14 years later, that communication. And they are exploring the planets and exploring other living beings on planets, not in terms of like aliens, more like the animals and plants that are existing on these planets. And yeah, it's interesting so far. Like I said, it is very sci-fi heavy with all the experimentation and discovering of living beings, but I enjoy the more like the commentary about just being distanced from Earth more than the actual sciencey parts. So yeah, I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm halfway through and I probably won't update now till I'm done, but I don't really know where I'm leaning with this one. I do really like the writing, so I don't know. I'm back and I did finish To Be Taught If Fortunate by Becky Chambers, and I did end up giving this one 3 stars, but I did really like the writing, like I was saying in my last update. I think I would like her in a more long form way, like an actual full-length novel, because I just didn't get enough like character development or anything out of this, and it was really sci-fi heavy, but it did deal with themes of like your impact on the environment and just like kind of the separation from Earth, like being separated from society. But all in all, like as sci-fi heavy as this was, I just don't think it was completely for me. But I would super recommend this to anyone who truly loves sci-fi, especially like space travel, which I think a lot of people like more than I personally do. But yeah, I feel bad because like I'm not enjoying my best friend's books completely, but seriously, go check out all of these people. They're all linked down below. I love them with my heart, and they do have good reading tastes. But I will have one more book in this series that will be in my Read Your Bookshelf-a-thon video. But other than that, this is a wrap on this kind of project that I wanted to start the year with. And I hope you've enjoyed it. Again, let me know if you've read any of these books down below. If you haven't, let me know what your favorite book is that you would recommend to me. And I will see you again very soon. Goodbye.